her blowhole. She has a fucking blowhole. What
she's
is that?
She's a glory hole on her head.
I can't do anything until the actual police get there.
So, like, what are you? Even I was like, what are you? So stupid. You're a bigot if you don't find this appealing.
Oh man, then I'm a fucking bigot. I'm 100% because this is disgusting.
Right here, proud bigot, right here.
I need to calm down. I think.
Okay, I'm entertaining the chat.
I enjoyed King Shark. Found it cute and adorable.
Which are words you shouldn't be associating with King Shark. I'm sorry. I'm like literally messaging.
Oh. It lasted a little bit long. This stream went on a little too long for Mara's internet. I don't care now. Oh my god, what is this? What happened? I've taken over somebody's studio. And you know what? I'm a little upset. I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all.
Alright, hold on. I'm a little upset, but I'm not upset. I'm
not upset.
You rampant slag.
He listens to metal.
Oh, I really insulted him.
Yeah, you did that.
Fantastic Beast rhymes. Fantastic. Jesus, fuck, I can't talk right now. What do you think they do at the Ministry of Magic?
I'm just saying you're saying it's been a perfect system for 1,000 years.
It hasn't been a perfect system. That's why I'm telling you they have departments in place for anything that were to happen. There's like this place that's like a drive-through daiquiri place. I drove through it.
When she says drove through it, she means the actual drive-through, not the building.
They have like 20-ounce drinks and then 32 ounces. I was like, you know what? Give me the 32 ounce. It is huge.
That's what 32 ounces is. 32 ounces is like 4 glasses.
I didn't realize. Hi, I'm Jason.
Oh my god.
And this is Momoa.
I imagine you did laugh way too hard and too long at this.
Mara is my ride or die. I love Mara.
I absolutely love that intro.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was close. Mara. Oh no!
Oh my god, are you okay?
Mara, what channel is the stream on?
Mine! Hold on, I gotta find the frickin' sound shits.
You can find it.
There you go.
Do it. Yay!
It always wants to to jump, basically, so it's like I'll have it like hovered over the applause, and then if I like go off and then go back to it, it's like, yeah, you want to start at the top again? It's like, no. Anyway, welcome, chat. So not technical difficulties, just StreamYard being StreamYard, pretty much, where it's like if you don't stay on one tab, it'll like you'll go back up to the top.
Yeah.
And anyway,
yeah.
Welcome everyone. Good to see you all. Oh my god, my son.
Mara, tell your boyfriend to cut it out. It's my time right now.
No worries. I'll call you the ninth, basically, brother. The ninth. I have Kruor. I don't want to butcher that name, basically, but no worries if you can't watch it live. Appreciate if you're watching the replay. But I saw Anthony say at least no Twilight clips. I'll give you some ideas from the clips I have, chats.
I'm sending Mara some Twilight clips now.
No,
I am. I'm just gonna have at least one.
Here, I have this clip. That's just Brew and Steph throwing their gaming streams, pretty much.
Yeah, that was us today. Oh my god.
Yeah. I have this clip.
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
As I feel like for most of the news, that's what I feel like. Let's see. What else do I have? This one?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Never, I never do.
Nope. So
Do 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 do.
How?
Hi! Oh my god, I love it.
I have this whenever Dan Blackberry pops into the chat.
Australia is entirely peopled with criminals.
I have that. This is what I was telling you about whenever I was saying when I just want to tell people repeatedly say shut up, shut up, shut up. This is the clip I was talking about from MST3K.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up!
Where's that from?
It's a show called Mystery Science Theater 3000. And basically the general premise is these mad scientists send this janitor up into space, and to torture him, quote unquote torture him, they make him watch bad movies. So to ease that torture, he built robots basically so that they could throw zingers at the movie basically, and that's basically the entirety of the show, pretty much. So and when I say bad movies, I mean bad movies. That clip there is the movie that they're watching is a movie called Alien from LA.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can't describe it to you. It stars Kathy Ireland, and she enters this different world basically through this rift to find her father, and she's the alien from LA because she's normal, and she's in this weird bizarre world pretty much, but it's not well done. That's all I get to say.
Oh, so it's is she going on to an alien planet and she's
it's not an alien planet? It's just in kind of another dimension, I guess, in so many words. Where it's she goes through this, I don't even know if I call it rift, basically, but
a portal?
an entrance, a portal kind of, like a portal thing, and it brings her onto this other world of sorts, but not on the planets, basically. So it's it's bad. So just look up Alien from LA, chat. You'll see it. But anyway, but that's the clip from MST3K, basically.
Steph doesn't know about MST3K. No. She lost 5. I had no idea what that was.
Is it fun bad like Bugaroo Banzai? Maybe at parts, just because how bad it is. But no, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But Mystery Science Theater 3000 is it does what people would love to do watching bad movies at theaters. Pretty much just lob insults at it. Basically, but you can't because there's other people around and you would get thrown out for disturbing being public nuisance. Basically, that's the premise pretty much. Yeah, it's probably Samurai Cop bad. But anyway, welcome chat. We might be discussing other topics, but the bulk of what we'll be talking about is the Odyssey, because they're doing their world tour, pretty much as I call it. It's basically their little press tour where they give interviews and so forth leading up to the release, because this Friday is the official release of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Do you have your tickets?
Fuck no. Fuck no. My one brother is planning on seeing it. I think he's still planning on seeing it. I
don't have tickets.
No. I know it's going to be shown on other screens other than IMAX, but I don't know what the quality is going to be like, because the film itself was specifically shot for the purpose of IMAX. So I don't know how that's going to exactly look on normal theater screens. And IMAX tickets aren't exactly cheap.
Correct.
So it's no.
I don't know if I want to go see it.
Trey's
I'm not even pirating it.
Yeah, I don't want it's just such a bastardization of
Steph, you got to get your tickets.
A story that I love, basically, a myth that I love, that I just can't bring myself to even sail the seas for it. That's how little interest I have, and how much it kind of makes me sick to think about it, pretty much. Anyway. And I'll be giving my thoughts, chat, on what we show you, basically, because I have clips up that are from X, basically, from interviews given and articles, basically, where it's hey, make up your own mind. If you want to see it, great. If you don't see it, I'm not telling you what to watch or what not to watch. So I'm just saying that I'm not going to watch it, and here's why, kind of a thing. But from the top,
Trey says, I remember the 97 Odyssey. I've never seen an Odyssey movie.
at least watch the 1997 miniseries.
Watch a whole ass miniseries?
It's like two. It's kind of equivalent of like 2 parts, basically. It's like, when I say it's a miniseries, I mean it's like a literal miniseries. I think it's like 2 parts. That's it. Where they like, because it was shown on TV. It was a TV miniseries, and so
it's
they
like part 1 and part 2?
Yeah, part 1 and part 2, basically, where they couldn't like air it, the entire thing in one go.
I thought it was like an 8-episode.
No, it's not an 8 episode. No, it's like 2 parts, basically. It's a movie. It's a movie split into 2 parts because it was aired on TV, and you know what they would do it back then, where it's like the runtime. They had commercials, and they split it into 2 nights.
The only thing I've seen is Troy. Like that's it.
I would even watch Troy over this shit that's coming out, pretty much. And Troy's not the best movie. But speaking of the 1997 Odyssey, I'll be giving my thoughts on Lupita Nyong'o, and if I'm going to show you guys a picture of a face that I would believe would have launched 1,000 ships if they still went with the race swapping of Helen of Troy. I think you understand why when I show the picture, basically. Truth Warrior, come on. Hello, Anthony. What is up? Yes, I will be returning to Lego Batman. It is getting busy. Anadarmus maybe, but I'm talking about, like, specifically speaking of the 1997 the Odyssey. And if you've seen the Odyssey, you can picture the female characters, and you might picture the character I'm thinking of that I would believe over Lupita Nyong'o that would have had a face that would have launched 1,000 ships. Yes, I will be returning to Lego Batman, and I know there's an option to turn off, to make it streaming, streaming appropriate, but I really don't fucking care. YouTube can go fuck itself. This is my PayPal. Appreciate if you don't send super chats, appreciate donations that way. Conroy, StreamYard, come on. Hello, Capinova, hello. Wiley Dave, hello, Psychotic Mongoose. So, Guy White. If I miss anyone, I do apologize. I'm trying to catch everyone. Tara Crystal, what is up? If I miss anyone, I do apologize. My kill member message, I skipped Moana and watched Evil Dead Burn and said enjoyed it, so where would you rank it as with the others? I haven't watched it, so I couldn't tell you. But I would probably rank it on the lower end. I'm not saying necessarily because that would be bad, but in terms of quality and like in the Evil Dead franchise, I would put it Evil Dead 2 at the top, because I feel Evil Dead 2 perfectly illustrates what an Evil Dead movie should be, with the mixture of horror and dark comedy. So, but that's just my opinion. Because I would put Evil Dead Rise, of the ones I've seen, I would put Evil Dead Rise at the bottom, but that's not to say Evil Dead Rise is bad. Crew War, okay. All right. Che, hello. Well, yeah, I'm just busy. Really busy. I mean, I've shown you my textbooks. They're not thin.
I'm busy watching K-dramas.
I've been watching murder mysteries.
I've been watching romantic K-dramas. I just finished one.
Yeah.
They lived happily ever after. That's how it ended. We don't get any of those anymore. They live happily ever after.
Hello, Keely. Andrew, hello. I've never seen a K-drama.
You need to, Mara. I'm gonna send you my list.
The closest K thing I've seen is K-pop Demon Hunters. I haven't watched any K-dramas.
I'm gonna send you my list of preferred.
Yeah, MC3K does have free shows on YouTube, and I would say watch like the originals. And when I say the originals, I mean with Joel Hodgson and Mike Nelson, because the newer ones I think are just. I've seen some of the newer episodes, and I'm just gonna shake my head. No, no. Watch the old episodes. So yeah.
If you don't have a login, I'll just give you my login information too.
All right.
I'll
From
send you my whole list.
oh god.
You have to watch them. No. You know what? You're gonna want to watch them.
How about I
Okay.
watch them when you watch the movies I tell you to watch?
No. Here's the thing. You're gonna want to watch them. Okay.
Which
And
is
you're
like
gonna
ironic.
want
Which is like-
want to keep going.
Which is ironic because you would want to watch the movies I'm recommending to you, and you have not watched those.
Well,
One
see,
movie
you're
a
gonna-
month.
You're gonna be like, I'm
One.
hooked, episode 1, and you're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep going. I know there's
Again,
a little
permission, I'm gonna
softy
apologize,
in
I'm
you.
going
I've
through.
seen her.
Oh yeah, like Elliot Page looks like a ventriloquist dummy next to her bodyguard, and I'm saying her. I don't care if it changed its name from Ellen to Elliot. No, it's still a her. Your plumbing is still that of a woman, right? And she looks like, because of how short, because she's a biological female, she looks like a ventriloquist dummy next to her bodyguard.
She looks ridiculous.
It looks like a toddler. You know, like you dress a toddler in like hand-me-downs, from an older sibling.
Looks like a toddler in its kid's suit, in a dad's suit.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
a
but like
10-year-old
or
trying
an
on
older
his
brother
dad.
suit where it's a hand-me-down, where it's like still a little too big on them. That's what she looks like. That's what she looks like.
It's honestly embarrassing.
It is. Oh, thank you, Tara. Halle Berry, even here. But when I get to the chat, I'll show you the woman where it's from the Odyssey, the 1997 Odyssey, where I'm like, you know what? If she were if you had a woman like that cast as Helen today, yeah, I would still have an issue because of the race swapping, but I could buy that face launching 1,000 ships, basically.
No. I don't know what you're gonna show, but if it's anything but a white person, no.
In terms of looks compared to Lupita Nyong'o. And she played a character called Calypso.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So, but just this. I'm not saying I would have been fine with it. I'm just saying in terms of physical attractiveness compared to Lupita, this is what I would have bought if someone like this actress had been cast to play Helen.
Isn't that Vanessa Williams?
Yes, she plays Calypso in the 1997 miniseries. All right, so not what I would say necessarily a big part. All right, but look at her face and compare it to Lupita. Like, that's a face that I could see maybe launching 1,000 ships, basically. Not Lupita fucking Nyong'o. But Vanessa Williams. Like that, terms of physical attractiveness, I would buy that.
I thought Vanessa Williams was mixed race. Am I wrong?
I believe she is. But it's still she's not completely white.
Oh.
So
I could
it
be
would
wrong,
technically
though.
been a race swap, but she's a lot more beautiful. Well, I'm saying a lighter skin. Where it's I still would not have been completely fine with it. But, not sub-Saharan fucking African looking in a Greek adaptation. So, hello.
Let me look at her. Oh, she's East African and Scottish. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, lighter skinned, lighter tone, where I'm like, okay, yeah. Not like it looks like Helen of Detroit.
Trey, McColorism.
So, but anyway, yeah. So I just want to show that real fast. I'm saying that would have been or you want to talk someone who's mixed, not Greek, but still mixed. The actress, have you seen Smile 2 or the live action Aladdin?
Yes. Oh, the girl that plays Jasmine.
Mm-hmm. She's demonstrated that she could pass with blonde colored hair. Fucking cast her. She demonstrated that she could act.
Or you know, for the part of Helen of Troy, just cast a white woman.
I know, I'm saying it's like, but like the reason why, like, this is my theory. This is my theory, is that primarily the casting choices stem from Christopher Nolan bucking for a Best Picture Oscar with this. And the reason why I say this is because I'm just going to share this screen real fast. These are the representation and inclusion standards. And this is on the Oscars.org website. So this is not like I'm pulling this out of my ass when I say this. All right. These are the representation and inclusion standards. For on-screen, at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actor submitted for the Oscar consideration, basically for Best Picture, is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group in a specific country or territory production. This may include Black, African American, African, so forth, Caribbean, East Asian, Hispanic, or Latino. I'm not going to fucking say Latinx. Indigenous peoples, Middle Eastern, North African, Pacific Islander, South Asian, and Southeast Asian. With the main casting choices, we have Africans, Latino. I believe the actor who plays Melanius' brother is Indian, so we got South Asian there. He's a pretty main character. You have Travis fucking Scott.
Scott
As the Bard, African American. One of the actors is last name is Lee. He's Asian, and there it is. Where would it probably be Southeast Asian or close to it? Or no, it'd be East Asian right here. So I'm saying, don't tell me that he's not bucking for a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah.
With this casting. So, so you would conquer Troy for Salma Hayek. I'm just saying, yes, ideally, it should, not ideally, but it should be a white blonde woman cast as Helen of Troy, because that's what how she's described in the story. But there are a lot more fucking beautiful actresses out there that would have been more believable than Lupita Nyong'o.
I've talked about this like for a few weeks, and I know that I think, what was it? Was it on like a Nerdy News and then on Versus? I can't remember where I talked about it, but I think I pulled up. I don't remember what I pulled up. I basically said like this is Hollywood's last stand, with the DEI stuff, with the diversity, equity, inclusion. This is Christopher Nolan. He's the director, or he's the head of the directors, whatever, in Hollywood. He is the person that actors want, they want to be in a Nolan film.
Mm-hmm.
He's the person that when he asks you to be in a film, you don't read the script, you just say yes. Like that's become practically like a talking point in the interviews. Like they make fun of Robert Pattinson because Robert Pattinson was like, can I read the script? And Nolan was like, you want to read the script? And you have all these interviewers say like, who read the script before they took the part? And the only person that raised their hand is Robert Pattinson. Like it is you just say yes to Christopher Nolan. Like that's it. That is the pinnacle of your career as an actor if you are in a Christopher Nolan film, because he's so well respected. So I've always maintained that this is Hollywood's last stand when it comes to that, because like I don't think that it's been such a huge talking point in Nolan films until now. Mm-hmm. It hasn't stuck out in Nolan films until now. And
especially when you have him in an interview saying that he was all about authenticity, and respect. And I'm looking at the casting and I'm like, really? You sure about that?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, like 70-30, being like, oh, he did this for Oscar stuff. Mm-hmm. Until that interview came out where he was talking about like writing the script, and he had them take out his Oscars from his room while he was writing the script. So
intimidating for
him.
It
wouldn't, so it wouldn't like distract him. So I was like, oh, okay, so that is on your mind.
Yeah,
it is on your mind. It is on your mind so much that you have to have them take those awards out as a distraction. So you are thinking about it. It is in the back of your mind. So I think that like, yes, it probably has to do with awards. He wants to win awards. And I think that like this is it is Hollywood's last stand. Like here,
Mhm.
Christopher Nolan. If Christopher Nolan can't do it, then no one else has a chance
No.
at getting a movie filled with DEI past an audience and actually like make money. So there's a lot riding on this movie, honestly, and I'm actually curious. Like, I don't think it'll fail or anything like that, but I'm curious to see how much it makes, and if it comes, I don't know, like if it comes under what because like people are like it's $1 billion movie. I'm curious to see if it makes $1 billion.
We were
because
like
I don't think
Gronking
Oppenheimer
Discord.
made $1 billion,
Yeah.
but Oppenheimer also had the Barbenheimer push.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are like, we don't know how much that was affected by Barbenheimer. But if you look at the demographics of people that went and saw Oppenheimer, a lot of it was Gen Z. I think it was like 25 to like 30% or something like that was Gen Z. And you can't tell me that Gen Z was like, let's go watch Oppenheimer without having it be a part of a trend, you know? Like, so I think that like a lot of that had to do with the Barbenheimer thing, with Gen
Mhm.
Z going to the theater and watching Oppenheimer. So
But we
that's
don't
how
have that
I'm gauging
now.
that movie,
Yeah.
is by the demographics of people who went and saw it.
Mhm. We were crunching the numbers in the Gronking Discord, and if we're estimating the marketing total correctly, because that has not been released, basically the budget has been released, and I think it's about 250 million, but the marketing hasn't been released, and we think like with the world tour that they're doing, it's
Mhm.
probably close with, and the other marketing they've done is probably close to 200 million, which is which is more than what the normal standard would be of half the budgets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're doing a whole world tour.
Yeah, if that's accurate, then this movie would have to make around $1 billion to
Oh my
break
gosh.
even.
I
To
saw
just break even. That's
Yeah.
just breaking even.
I saw a video today of Zendaya's stylist, who she's had for the longest time. I saw this video of him saying that like the outfit that she wore to the very first premiere of the Odyssey, where it's like a plate, an armor plate, a white armor plate thing,
Mhm.
corset type thing. So apparently her stylist was at a show, was at a runway show, and she had the Odyssey thing the next day, like the Odyssey premiere the next night, and he was at that show. He said that they had a private plane, and he was waiting for the model to take the outfit off so he can get that onto a private plane and get it to Zendaya for the world premiere. I was like, to have that kind of money, wouldn't that be nice? He's like, I have a private plane waiting for that right there, and the camera like turns to the outfit that she's wearing, and then it shows Zendaya wearing it the next time. I was like, oh my god. To have that type of just, I'm just gonna get a private plane, fly you over there, get that dress, and then come back.
Yeah, just for a fucking dress.
Yeah, but no, let's save the
Yeah.
environment, guys. Let's save the
Yeah.
environment.
And also, they're bypassing Greece, the birthplace of the story
That is very
that
telling.
they are supposedly adapting.
It is very telling.
They're not going there.
Why wouldn't they stop there? Especially since like Greece invest in it? I had a tweet. Well, let me find it.
People are saying like they expect the Greek government to sue them because there was a stipulation that like he's supposed to cast Greek actors or something.
Really?
It's somewhere on X. I don't know if it's true or not, but it was somewhere on X basically where someone was like, positing like the possibility of that happening because there was, I think, a stipulation.
It says Christopher Nolan took 6.5 million euros in Greek taxpayer money to film the Odyssey in Greece for 15 days. They gave him the subsidy without telling the Greek people what the movie was actually going to be. No Greek actors, heavy distortion of one of our most important stories. Now the world tour is skipping Greece completely. He knows exactly what he did. He disrespected our history, took our money, and now he won't even show his face here. This is what happens when Hollywood gets comfortable pissing on other people's cultures. And I think that's exactly why they're skipping Greece. Like, I think that Christopher Nolan is very well aware of the letter that was written, on behalf of the Greek people to Christopher Nolan about the diversity, about the storytelling, about what he is doing to the Odyssey. I think that is exactly why they are skipping Greece, because they don't want to step foot there, because they know that they've pissed off the Greek people.
Royally.
So it is very, very, very telling that they are skipping Greece, but they're going to where else are they going? Shit, I had it.
I know they're going to Italy. Like basically everywhere around where Greece is, but not in Greece. Because there was a bus. Like someone posted a picture of this like bus with an advertisement for the Odyssey in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's one of the locations they went to.
Oh, here it is. They're going to London, to Paris, to Mumbai, to New York, to Beijing, and
China.
to Seoul. That's where they're going on their global tour.
So countries said don't fucking matter in terms of like, who you should be appealing to.
Yeah. They've just finished. They just went to Mumbai yesterday. Like, I saw pictures of them over at Mumbai. Christopher Nolan, Tom Holland, and Matt Damon were sitting in like a cafe in Mumbai drinking tea, with their little photo op, right? Drinking tea there. And then what else did I see of them in Mumbai? I can't remember what else I saw in Mumbai. But I don't think it was like the entire cast there. I'm not too sure. Maybe it was the entire cast. I don't know. But yeah, they did this like photo op at a cafe where they were drinking tea in Mumbai. Like, why Mumbai? Why? Honestly, like China, I understand, right? Because they need the China box office. So let's stop in China and get them hyped up about the Odyssey. Is the Mumbai box office like really big? Is it a big one? Is it a big one? Like,
part of me wants to say no, because they have their own Hollywood of sorts with Bollywood in India. So it's not like they're like, it's like hard, like they're like, pressed for wanting to see Western films that much.
mm-hmm.
But like in China, the Chi-Coms, I think they own like a third of Hollywood. That's part of the reason why they really want to get it pushed in China, is because let's appease the communists essentially that own a third of Hollywood. It's something like a number like that, basically, where it's like they've through like investments and so forth, that China like owns about a third of that. So that's the reason why they want to push the China market so much. It's because of that, or one of the reasons because of that, basically.
Like, yeah, China, I understand. They need the China box office, but I don't know.
India, I was saying, it's like they have Bollywood.
Yeah.
They make their own movies, so it's not like they are so crucial to the success of a Western film that you need to stop there. Like in India, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. We got some clips for you.
Oh my gosh! Look at this, Mara.
In China, well, let's put it
look
this
at
way.
this.
For movie posters, movies prior, like say Black Panther and so forth. Look at the poster differences from Western posters and in China.
Did you see this? Their costumes. It looks so cheap. It looks so incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
Someone said it looks like something out of the Hunger Games. I can totally see that. It looks so cheap. Like this could honestly be anything. You wouldn't know that it's the Odyssey. But what struck me was this tweet that I saw. They no longer know how to make films. Look at this beautiful film. Look at how gorgeous it is. Look at how majestic it is. Mm-hmm. Look at how grand this is.
Yeah.
Like everything, every detail. I'm like, oh my god.
And that's like from like what, the 1950s shots, pretty much. Like that's how long. That like even then they was like, hey, we know this needs to be grand in scale because of the setting and the time period we are making this movie. So.
And then you just go and you see this. And I was watching. I need to
Early
rewatch her.
60s, okay.
I need to rewatch her video because it's this girl on YouTube that I watched because I was going through some of like the Cinderella movies and stuff. And my favorite Cinderella movie is not the Disney live action Cinderella. It's actually Ever After. If you've ever seen that movie,
Oh, I've seen Ever After. I love Ever After.
yeah, it's so great. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. And what's beautiful about that movie are the costumes. The costumes just pull you in. They're the most beautiful costumes I've ever seen. I love that movie. And anyways, I was listening to this girl's video, and she's just like, "Why are the costumes so beautiful in Ever After? And what happened to the costuming now?" And she started talking about how like the materials that they use nowadays is just such cheap material that it ends up, even though like the costume artists are trying to, the costume designer are really trying to like do their best and trying to make things look authentic and of the time period, they can't because the materials nowadays that they're producing are just so cheap. And that's why everything in Hollywood looks so incredibly cheap because of the material. Like, I guess it's completely changed. The material that they started using now is just completely changed. So that's why there's a difference between something like this and something like this. They've just completely stopped caring about the material. And so that's why everything looks so cheap.
So this is kind of like furthers my like theory that Hollywood has now become just a big money laundering racket. Because I'm looking at like these pictures, like you're talking about how the material itself has become very cheap, and I'm looking at the materials and I'm thinking to myself, and then you're telling me that this movie still cost $250 million to make.
Well, a lot of that is the cast.
I know. I'm saying
a lot of that is the cast.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, how? Like, I'm saying, I know a lot of it is the cast, but I'm looking at the cast, going, "You fuckers don't deserve that much money. Seriously, for it to get to $250 million."
I think we've reached a point in society where a lot of people think that Hollywood actors are way overcompensated. And of course, duh, they've been overcompensated forever, right?
Yeah.
But I think that now because of, the fact that like whether you like it or not, a lot of people are able to voice their opinions on TikTok. And a lot of it is just noise, but a lot of the opinions of people that don't want to go to the movies anymore is because they don't want to support all these actors. They think that actors have been sort of idolized for way too long, and they don't provide anything to society other than like a movie, and they get mad when you don't go see their movie. So I think that like that's another reason why people just aren't going to the theater, because there's no longer this idolization of actors. There's no longer like this, oh, I really like this guy, I'm gonna go support him in his movie. None of that. And it's because of social media, the rise of social
crop
media.
of actors nowadays, hello, with the memes, basically, like, oh, go act and see how that is. I just seen you like people like this. It doesn't amount to millions and millions of dollars. I don't fucking care how many hours they put in. Most of the time, the filming takes 2 months. 2 fucking months, and they walk away with more money than people make in their entire fucking lifetime. Don't fucking tell me that, oh, go act and see why that is. Bitch, please. Fuck off with that shit. They are irrelevant today. No one gives a shit about actors and actresses. Go ahead, continue.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that like goes into everything, really. Like even there's even like concerts, people at concerts that have had to cancel out or like stop or cancel their tours with concerts, and there's multiple reasons for that. A lot of it is that just because you go viral one place doesn't mean that like the whole world wants to see you in concert, right? You can go viral on social media and nobody wants to see you like live in person. Another reason for that is because of ticket scalpers. Like Ticketmaster doesn't have a hold on that yet. So anything that has to do with the concert, anything that has to do with anything really will get like bought up and then resold for like double, triple everything. So there's a lot that goes into that. But movies, thankfully, hasn't gone that far. But yeah, I think like the rise of all of that has given like the rise of social media has given a voice to a lot of people who, I mean, like it or not, they all have a voice online. Everybody has a voice online, and especially like actors, and actors will put their opinions out there, and they seem like completely out of touch whenever they're making a video or talking or whatever they're doing. They seem completely out of touch, and regular normal people are like, yeah, I don't like that. You know what? I don't like you. I don't like you.
Yeah.
So they've just completely stopped supporting them.
Fuck off, hello. All right, just fuck off. You're exactly what's wrong with this world. You're a failed coat hanger abortion in my chats. All right? Non-acting folks. Yeah, because we don't act, we're not part of Hollywood, that we can't voice opinions and say, yeah, you're overrated. That actors should not be earning that much money for 2 to 3 months of work. You were up in the early in the chat said Cars took 5 years to make. They weren't voice acting for the entire fucking 5 years, prick. All right, they weren't doing that. That's an animated film, by the way, which can take a long time because of the animation process, as well as the marketing and scheduling for release of that. All right, so it's not like it was worked on for the entire fucking 5 years before it was released, and it's not like they were doing the voice work for the entire fucking 5 years either. All right, go jump back up in your mom's uterus and pop back out when you're more.
I don't know what that person is trying to. What point they're trying to make.
I don't know, but go pop back up into your mom's uterus and pop back out when you're actually useful to society. So, you know what? Time him out, Chad. Time him out for 5 minutes. I want to see that fucker and his responses. You're like you're. I don't know what point you're trying to make. You're literally making these subjective trying to make these points, and you sound like you're making excuses. Jonathan Majors worked out for a whole year. Oh yeah, he worked out for a whole year. He filmed for 2 months. The workout is not part of the fucking filming process. Time him out. Jesus Christ, time him out. I don't want to see that fucker. Pop back into the chat when you're fucking useful. Anyway. That's why I said time him out. Thank you. All right. Anyway. But let's go back because I have the clips. You want to watch the clips, basically?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. We have. Well, the John Leguizamo one is not a clip, but let's do the infamous Lupita Nyong'o one. That's the one that kind of started it all. Let's see. Like I said, I have so many freaking tabs open. Okay. All right. This is your tweets. I want to pause this. All right. Okay. Basically, has the is that is posed with the question: if you were going to ask Homer something, what would you say or what would you ask him? Basically, all right.
After it's a hypothetical question that if Homer was here and he wanted to see the Odyssey, what would you ask him?
All right, go back. Oh, wrong tab.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about this screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them?
How little time you spent with them. All right.
Well, keep playing it.
Yeah. And this.
Okay.
And then do you lean forward
this fucking
and
part
look at
pissed
him
me
like
off.
that?
Yeah, it's like,
That pissed me the fuck off when she did that.
I think that that's where we are as a society, honestly. That right there. We're instead of asking a question, you have this you have Homer right next to you, and instead of asking him a question, you just start lecturing him. Let me just lecture this man. Well, that's what I want to do. That's what I would do. And everybody's going to clap for me and everybody's going to cheer for me because I'm lecturing this man.
I'm just going to bring up my post. I'm going to bring up my post on another tweet just so I can read off these names. Because I quoted your tweets. And I wrote Athena, Aphrodite, Circe, Calypso, Penelope, Nausicaa, Euryclea, Anticlea, who is Odysseus' mother, Scylla, and I don't know how to pronounce this. Charybdis, basically. They're monsters, basically. Scylla and Charybdis. Charybdis is monsters, and the sirens. Athena is a Greek goddess of wisdom. Aphrodite is the goddess of love. Circe is She's a sorceress. Calypso's a nymph and the daughter of the Titan Atlas. Penelope is Odysseus' wife. Nausicaa is a princess who helps Odysseus when he's washed ashore on one part of the story. Euryclea is a faithful, like, servant, like female, like lady servant to Penelope. Basically, she stays faithful, like not just to Penelope but to Odysseus in the story. Anticlea is Odysseus' mother, who Odysseus sees in hell when, like, as part of his journey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the sirens, basically 10 singular characters. It's like, more so when you include the sirens, female characters. Athena is the goddess that helps Odysseus on his journey home. All right, a female deity chose Odysseus as her champion, and she is helping him get home. Do you know who tries to keep Odysseus from getting home? Can you guess, Steph? Who tries to keep Odysseus from getting home? You're muted.
My dogs are barking.
Okay, but can you guess, like, who? So we have the Greek goddess Athena trying to get him home. Do you know who trying to keep him from getting home? A male god. Poseidon, the dickhead. Poseidon is the one that tries to keep Odysseus from getting home. So let's talk to Homer about how, like, he doesn't focus a lot on the female characters. Never mind that Athena is instrumental in Odysseus' journey. Never mind that Aphrodite is the bitch that started it all by giving Helen to the twink prince Paris. But that's what started everything. Never mind Circe is not, like, she's kind of a villainess. All right, she keeps Odysseus and his men on her island for a year. Calypso, she helps Odysseus, but she tries to seduce him to stay with her. Let's see, Penelope, faithful wife. Nausicaa, a good, like, basically she's a princess, like, she helps Odysseus out. Like I said, Euryclea, faithful servant. Anticlea, Odysseus' mother, she's a strong female character. So, I basically said, dickhead, because, like, in terms of the story, he's the one who's, like, trying to thwart Odysseus, basically. But yeah, Zeus can't keep it in his fucking pants. Zeus can't keep it in his fucking pants. Right. All right. This is a little, I kind of, so the point I'm trying to make is that actually read the fucking book and you'll see. That's the point I'm trying to make. Read the story and you'll fucking see. But a little, I guess, Greek mythology lesson for you, basically. You all know Hercules, right? You all know Hercules, right? Hercules is the Roman name for the character, basically. That's not the Greek name. That's the Roman name. In Greek mythology, he's actually called Heracles. All right? Yeah, Kevin Sorbo. I had this clip just for you, Dan.
Australia is entirely peopled with criminals.
And I'll get to the super chats. Appreciate it. But in the Greek mythology, his name is Heracles. And the reason why he's named Heracles is because Zeus, like I said, can't keep it in his pants. He can never keep it in his pants at all. Basically banged Heracles' mother. She became pregnant, gave birth to a demigod, Heracles, and to appease Zeus's wife, Hera, to try to appease Hera, because Hera is a monumental bitch, she named her son with, like, Hera's name as part of it to appease her, right? Heracles, basically. But, like I said, Hera is a monumental bitch and made Heracles' life a living hell with the trials and everything. So I think Hades gets a bad rap. Hades gets a bad rap because he is the god of the underworld, and I'm like, well, he actually does one of the most important jobs. Like, he's like because all the souls. Okay, in Greek mythology, also, hell is not the same as the Christian hell that we know. Hell is not the same as the Christian hell that we know, and I say that as a Christian, basically. Hell is like basically for everyone who dies that's not a demigod or a god. So it doesn't matter how good of a life you lived, how good of a person you were. If you died, you ended up in hell. That's where Odysseus finds his mother on his journey, because he has to go through hell to find the blind prophet and, to get back home, basically. Really, just simplifying the story, basically. All right? And, I said, Hades gets a bad rap. All right? And Hades is actually probably, in terms of quality of character, better than his brother Zeus. So, thank you, Mr. Tex. But anyway, while we wait for Steph, I know up here there was a super chat from Corey. Cajun Corey, thank you. What do you get when you cross a Paris with a caterpillar? A little walkie-talkie. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that. And then the super sticker from Mr. Tex. It is a vibes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Phil's cousin for $5. I want a Mara reads Greek mythology stream, and then Pericles ran into this monumental bitch. And then I'm saying, read Greek mythology. Read mythology. The gods and goddesses were assholes. It's fascinating reading. But when you boil it down to the bare bones, the gods and goddesses were monumental assholes. All right, they would play with mortals like chess pieces, pretty much. And they would pick their champions, and then they would insert themselves into wars, and they would make the wars go the way they wanted them to go, and so forth. Like, for example, when Achilles was killed. All right, you've all heard the term Achilles' heel, and that's because when his mom dipped him in that river. All right, and I'm simplifying the story. The heel was not covered because that's where she was holding him, basically. So his weak spot was his heel. And in the story, an arrow hits that weak spot and he is killed. Well, the reason why the arrow hits that weak spot is because I believe the god Apollo guided that arrow to that weak spot. Gods and goddesses are assholes, plain and simple. If the war's not going the way they want it to go, they'll insert themselves in it. Pure, it's that. It's like that's what they do. That's what they do. They meddle in the affairs of mortal men. Zeus bangs every fucking mortal woman he comes across. Hera is a monumental bitch, and she, instead of punishing her husband, she punishes the mortal woman. Aphrodite, she's petty. All right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You read enough mythology, you're like, that's the conclusion you inevitably come to, in my opinion. Pretty much. Anyway. So.
Sorry.
Oh, you missed my little lesson on Greek
mythology. My dogs were going crazy.
Well, talk about this while I take a drink, because I gave a mythology lesson and a little rant. So.
Talk about Lupita. I think that she's basically every liberal woman. She doesn't mm-hmm. care about history or anything like that. She just wants to scold mm-hmm. and lecture and say why you're wrong and they're right. Mm-hmm. Even though you didn't matter. It's like, why do I need to think about you? You didn't matter at that time. You have Homer right there next to you, and you want to lecture him about women's rights and inclusivity. It doesn't matter to him. You're irrelevant. You don't matter.
No. Plus, again, if you read the actual story, he has plenty of strong female characters.
Yes.
It's just they're not they want them to be the sole focus.
I honestly, this is one of the main reasons why I think that even though it hasn't been confirmed, that they're pulling from Emily Wilson's translation of the Odyssey, because it seems like every single interview that the women give from the Odyssey. They're praising Nolan's script and praising what he's doing with the women. And that was one of the things that Emily Wilson was getting praised for when she did her translation. Like, finally, there's a woman translating the Odyssey. That's one of the things that she was getting praised for, of how she was depicting these women. So I think that, like, that's one of the reasons why I really think that they're doing her version, even though Nolan says that he pulled from all of these different translations. He has referenced Emily Wilson's The Odyssey a couple of times. I believe like a copy of her Odyssey was on his desk or something like that. I can't remember for sure. And Lupita Nyong'o, like, she says that she listened to the Iliad, which was the Emily Wilson translation, and she also bought. She said that like there wasn't there wasn't an audio of translation of something, whatever. I can't remember what she said, but yeah, she read the Odyssey, and I have a feeling that she read Emily Wilson's version of the Odyssey, considering she listened to Emily Wilson's translation of the Iliad. So I don't know. And thinking about how all of these women on the red carpet have been just praising Nolan's version of the Odyssey, it really does tell me that like they don't think that Homer did these women right. And Nolan has fixed that problem.
This Bruce says, interestingly, there have been women who translated it into other languages, but none of them were feminists who looked at it as a misogynistic piece, so she thought she had to do it. Basically, yeah, they just translated it, not exactly verbatim, because you can't really have a one-to-one translation when you go from one language to another. But they did, just translated the story as best they could, so that way it read as it was in their language. That's it. That's all they did. But she had to go, no, it's not feminist enough. It's not feminist enough. So we gotta do this. This is why I stop using the word liberals when I talk about the left and I say leftists, because like there's nothing. If you look at the old school definition of liberal, like the left commandeered it basically to lie to the American public about their intentions. Like the far left, I should say, like lied, like they co-opted and commandeered the term liberal to make themselves appear not like, in a way that was opposite of what they were actually going for, basically. So it's like basically just lie to the American public and make them like, and distort the media narrative in that regard. Well, pretty much, yeah, basically. But like, it's like basically, it's like, oh yeah, let's call ourselves liberals so we can differentiate ourselves from the far right, vilify the right, and accuse them of doing exactly what we're doing. So I'm just saying, like, that's why I'm a libertarian. I've pretty much like I'm a libertarian. I think both sides are fucked. At this point, pretty much, yeah. So both sides can just like basically just fuck off. I don't think Medusa's in the movie because I don't remember her being in the story. She's part of Greek mythology, but I don't recall her being as part of the story. So we would not see Medusa in this. We would see Medusa in terms of tying into the story about Perseus, but not the Odyssey or the Iliad. I really do not recall her as being part of any like either of those stories. So we would not see Medusa. Can we like just
this is completely off topic, Mara. I mean, I just saw this on Twitter and I'm a little upset. Now, according to this leak for the Batman Part 2, the person who did this leak sent proof to the moderation team, proof of this leak that it's true or whatever. This is information from the set of Batman Part 2. Just to be clear, they use code names on set, so some of this is speculation based on what we heard and saw. Scarlett Johansson is the main villain, a serial killer with an obsession with plants.
Who's that?
She uses toxins.
Oh my god.
So I think she's a more realistic take on Poison Ivy. Stan plays a bald serial killer. So Snyder is probably right about him being Victor Zsasz. Batman initially believes he's the killer, but it's actually Scarlett Johansson. She's targeting Gotham's elite, one of whom is played by Charles Dance, who leads a secret organization made up of the city's most powerful figures.
If that's true, then fuck that movie.
I don't want Scarlett Johansson to play Poison Ivy.
No.
I'm sorry. I don't even care how bad this sounds. She's too old to play Poison Ivy. All right.
She is. She is too old now. But she's not a serial killer. She's an eco-terrorist, I'll give her that, but she's not a serial killer.
No, they turned the Riddler into a serial killer.
I know, I'm saying none of these criminals are serial killers.
He was a serial killer and then like this weird Reddit terrorist, like what the fuck? And now she's gonna be,
like I said, if this is true, then fuck this movie. Because the Riddler was not in actual lore, he's not a serial killer, and neither is Poison Ivy. She's an eco-terrorist. That's what we would describe her as, an eco-terrorist. Victor Zsasz, yeah, you could probably
yeah.
He's a serial killer. Like, he's flat out psychotic. He's a psychopath. But not Poison Ivy, not Riddler, not Two-Face.
Am I on a different timeline or something? Because I could have sworn that it was announced that Sebastian Stan was playing Harvey Dent and Scarlett Johansson was playing his wife. I could have sworn I read that in a whole ass article.
I'm gonna wait until actually official news drops, basically. The closer we get to announcing for this movie and so forth. Because right now it's entirely speculation. Yeah, the Riddler killed people, but he's not a serial killer. There's no I honestly, in terms of how they portrayed him in the Batman, basically.
I honestly think, I thought I read that she was going to be his Harvey Dent's wife. I was even on stream with Beardo, and Beardo was like, she could play Poison Ivy, and I'm like, no, Beardo, she's playing his wife.
I think she's even told.
And he was like, oh, confirmed? I was like, yeah, and I thought I even pulled up an article that said that she was going to be playing his wife. And now it's
I would think she was too old for even that.
And now, because I was totally cool with Sebastian Stan playing Harvey Dent. Hell yeah. Give me Sebastian Stan Harvey Dent any day. That would be freaking awesome. He'll kill it in that role, especially when he turns into Two-Face. But is Victor Zsasz?
No.
As Victor Zsasz? Really? I guess. She could have been Poison Ivy 10 years ago. Yeah. Beardo was right. I don't see her as Poison Ivy. She's too old to play Poison Ivy. I don't know.
I think she's too old for either character.
She could have played Poison Ivy when she was in Iron Man 2. Was it Iron Man 2?
Yeah, see, that's when she first appears.
Yeah.
As,
Iron Man 2.
As Black
Perfect.
Widow.
Iron Man 2, perfect. Iron Man 2, Scarlett Johansson can play Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. She's still no. She does still look good. Yes, she still looks good. But for Poison Ivy, hold on. I need to look at something.
Not when you have Robert Pattinson as Batman. The age differences are just way off.
Dude, Uma Thurman was 27 when she played Poison Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett Johansson's 41. I
don't know. I'm saying consider how old Pattinson's Batman is supposed to be. Not how old Pattinson is, but how old his Batman is supposed to be. Because this is kind of like 0 year. Basically, Batman
coming off of 0 year, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
he's supposed to be a young Batman, but Robert Pattinson is 44 now.
Yeah, I'm saying in terms of the age that Batman's supposed to be, she still would yeah.
Oh,
She
he's
looks
40.
she looks like she still looks good for 41, but she would be noticeably in comparison. The age difference between how the characters are supposed to look would be too noticeable. So I don't know. So
I don't like it. If she's gonna be Poison Ivy, that sucks.
And I don't get this question. Wasn't the first movie at the beginning of Batman's career? You mean the Batman, the Robert?
The Batman, yes.
Yeah, it's the beginning of his career.
It was he's 2 years into his career as Batman.
Around 0 year, basically the timeline for 0 year or like that. I think he's still finding his, I guess, Dark Knight footing. So
I think they say it. He's 2 years in.
Yeah,
as Batman.
I said, yeah, but still, his car is still a souped up,
yeah, he's still
he doesn't have the technology that other films where he started out.
He's still in his beginnings of Batman, yes, but he is 2 years in.
And I'm saying when the news, when Batman was being made, I remember the director saying that he took inspiration from 0 year.
Yes.
Basically. So that is all right. Now let's just show other clips, basically, because again, they keep wanting to.
Oh, I hate this leak. I hate it so much.
Well, let's just.
I think I saw a picture of Sebastian Stan right now. He's bald. I'm like, please, please, no. I hate it.
So we'll watch this video. This clip, it's about 1 minute and 32 seconds long. There you go. I have so many tabs open.
The language as well is very modern. It's a very contemporary, easy to access way of speaking. I mean, you say dad rather than father.
Sure.
I mean, what's the thinking behind that?
Because I wouldn't have even said father back in the day, would I? I would have been in Greek, so it's no less correct.
All right, little language lesson. It still would have been the Greek word for father, because the word dad did not enter language until the 16th century. So it still would have been the Greek word for father, not dad or daddy or anything like that. It's hey,
daddy.
Daddy-o.
He says daddy. Robert Pattinson says daddy.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson says daddy. It wouldn't be dad. It wouldn't be daddy. It would still be father, because if you were going to be authentic, as Nolan likes to claim he is, or he's trying to be with this movie, you would not say dad. You would say father. It would still be Greek for father.
I honestly think that he should have just not have said anything in regards to how authentic he's trying to be with the film.
Yeah.
Because then you get the casting of Lupita, the casting of Athena, of Zendaya, the fact that they're speaking regular English. You have British actors and they're speaking with American accents. They're saying daddy. Then you have the costumes that look terrible. I really think that he should have just not said anything at all.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't going to be 100% authentic with the movie, with the casting, with everything, with the dialogue, with all of it, then just don't say anything.
Yeah, nothing should be respectful. So yeah, I'm saying it's again the fact that he came out and said that it's such a juxtaposition to what we're actually seeing with the casting, with the language, and we'll continue this basically because he brings it up. Nolan talks.
People bring when you look at this world, when you look at the ancient world, people tend to view it in weird ways. There's a lot of cultural prejudice. There's a lot of.
I don't know what he means by cultural prejudice. I mean, you're adapting a story, a Greek mythology.
Yeah, they're sort of elevating it because it's old, whatever it is. When you go to the poem, what you find is something that's really earthy and grounded and accessible. And so for me...
So why did you have to change it?
There it is, accessible. There's accessible. Accessible means he's completely dumbed it down.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. We have it more accessible. Okay, it's dumbed down. It is dumbed down. Who else called their work accessible? I'm pretty sure it was Emily Wilson. Emily Wilson wanted her work wanted her translation to be more accessible. That's another thing. Like, he's using that word. That's why I feel like he pulls from Emily Wilson's Odyssey, because like she said that about her translation of the Odyssey. She called it accessible, and here he is calling. That's all that means, is that you've dumbed it down.
Mm-hmm.
You've dumbed it down to the lowest common denominator, so that like you can just understand it, as opposed to it being this great work. You've dumbed it down to make it more accessible. And I think he later on says that it's for like modern audiences.
I can't remember. I know he said like, you know,
in building the world of the film, what I talk to all the actors about is like, I want to center it on that and make it feel very fresh for modern audience.
There, modern audiences. The minute you do that, the second you do that, you like your work ceases to be timeless. And you've now aged your work. And the reason why I say that is because the modern audience now is not going to be the same modern audience later. The modern audience now is not the same modern audience that was like, 20, 30 years ago, pretty much. All right. The reason why certain movies don't age is because they weren't made for the modern audience. So they were made with universal storytelling, universal messages. I hate using that, but basically just stories. So that way, like say, you could watch Gladiator now and it would be no different from when it first premiered in the late 90s. You could watch a movie that was made in the 1940s and 50s, and it would, the only thing that would be looked aged about it would be the fact that it would be in black and white and so forth. But the stories themselves would not age because they were just that, stories. That's it. Modern audience means I'm out, basically. Yeah. So, and yeah, Robert Eggers. Nosferatu used the dialect from that time period. For The Witch, he used the dialect from that time period. For his movie Werewolf, he's using the dialect from that time period. People still went to go see Nosferatu. People still praise Nosferatu. He didn't dumb it down. He didn't make the language accessible for anyone. He said, you know what? This is how they would have spoken in this time period, so this is how he's going to write the dialogue. For The Witch, this is how they would have spoken in that time period for the characters that he was writing. And it was still praised. I don't know why you had this now notion that you need part of me understands it because the audience has gotten dumber for the most part. It's I call it the TikTok brain, basically, where it's they need something quick and easy to watch. They can follow it and they not have to think too much. But movies like Nosferatu and I believe Werewolf are still going to demonstrate that there is an audience, a bigger audience of what Nolan is aiming for, where they would appreciate something like that. That the movie looks really good. Now I'm only going off of visuals and things like that, but it looks really fucking good. Well, a lot of old movies just look like plays put to film, which is fine. And I adore Philadelphia Story, for example, but it does age. Well, I'm saying a lot, that I can believe and that I can accept because early in Hollywood's history, a lot of the actors, not all of them, but a lot of the actors, that transitioned to film, transitioned from the stage. And the stage was basically the foundation for film, basically, and how the films were structured and so forth. So I can buy that. So if you look at a lot of the early films, because that was most people's experience prior to Hollywood coming into being and the rise of film movies was the stage, like vaudeville, like Broadway, things like that. That's what people's experience. So if you look at how certain actors and actresses portrayed their characters in films and how they carried their voice, that tells you that person had stage experience. And then it kind of progressed to the point where it's the talkies became the thing, and more talkies and less the stage, and then you saw the evolution of performances. All right, that's a little I guess a little history lesson. So yeah, I can buy like earlier movies being that way because of actors and actresses' prior experience. Anyway, let's continue with this clip.
And do away with some of those assumptions that aren't based on anything logical. They're just, as I say, cultural prejudices or things over time. There's a lot of
again, people are saying that means white man bad, and I get he's using all these fucking buzzwords, and I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to say?
Stylistically, aesthetically, people tend to look back to the Romantic era and art. A lot of paintings where people aren't wearing very much. They got a little bed sheet wrapped around them or whatever it is. And a lot of classical architecture, even though that wasn't the architecture of the Mycenaean period and things like that. So, we went back to what's in the archaeology. What does that tell us, and what gaps does that leave? What do we?
If you actually went back to the archaeology, then the armor wouldn't look so drab. Because if you look at actual armor from around that time period, it's pretty colorful. It's pretty colorful. If you were to look at the armor from that time period, it's not drab like we see in these movies. It doesn't look like a high schooler taking home economics did it for their project. So I'm just saying, like, if you actually look at the pictures, if he's like saying like, like he's looking at the history, looking at the archaeology, then you would see that the armor doesn't look that way. So you're looking at something.
About Homer's time? How were things portrayed in the earliest?
You can kind of figure that out, like I said, because there are pictures from archaeological finds of the armor that would have been used around that time period. So yeah, you did have a foundation to go off of. You didn't have to fill in those gaps.
Possible portrayals of that, and looking at how do you create a.
Plus, in the trailer, do you remember in the trailer, like Odysseus and his men are encountering these? I think it's supposed to be a vision, but these giants in full plate armor.
Oh yeah.
Full plate armor didn't fucking exist back then.
Well,
and I know the excuse is going to be, but it's a vision. But like, if it's a vision, even if it's a vision, it's supposed it would be a vision of what they would be used to seeing, even if it was the Greek gods and goddesses fucking with their minds. They want the full plate armor? What? This is supposed to be what, the Bronze Age?
Yes.
It wasn't full plate armor.
I am not. I'm not I don't know about all the armor stuff.
Well, the armor, like the full plate armor, that would be the Iron Age, and that's way, way down the line. That's all you need to know. Like, they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know what full plate armor looks like. Because like that hadn't even been invented yet, because that's iron. And iron was not discovered yet. Or at least not in terms of when during Homer's period, it's like wasn't used for armor. So
consistent and accessible world around that feels vital and credible and exciting to be.
I hate when he uses the word accessible.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like I never had a problem. Like the story itself, if you try to read the story itself, I will admit it's not exactly an easy read. Right?
Do you think it's their new word? We wanted to make it accessible. Or have you heard accessible? Like, because
that's the go-to.
I haven't really noticed accessible. I've noticed modern audiences. I've noticed, updated, but not accessible. I feel like accessible is now a new word.
I think it's becoming now like the new go-to buzzword, basically. So like you said, basically, we're making it accessible, meaning the lowest common denominator from the gene pool can understand this movie. Pretty much. That's like, we're making it accessible. It's not the accessibility in terms of, like, say, adding subtitles, because it's told in a different language, and subtitles will be an accessibility feature for those who cannot either decipher, like understand the language that's being spoken or even hear well. So you add subtitles. That's an accessibility feature that I would think of when I hear accessible. But the way they're using it is we're making it accessible for all audiences, meaning even the retards that lick windows and eat crayons can understand this movie. That's what they're saying when they use accessible. So I swear to God, you know what? At this point, you know what? I think like Nolan should have just said "fuck it" and just written this Odyssey in Gen Z slang. At this point, just do it. Just say "fuck it" and just write it all in Gen Z slang. So you have basically Odysseus saying no cap.
Oh God.
No cap. He got that riz. Like that shit. Like that shit. Just do full on Gen Z slang.
Please no. I hate that I know what all that means.
So, fuck yeah, I would watch that just for shits and giggles. Just like Gen Z the Odyssey.
Oh God, there he goes. I knew he was gonna do something. I knew. I knew.
Chester Maximus Chad frame, no cap.
I knew he was gonna put something in the chat.
Oh my God. Okay, we have 2 more clips. All right. Like I said, this is that's why I said, primarily this is going to be most of the stream is because of the interviews being given, basically, for this movie, which, again, I wouldn't say it's hurting the Odyssey because most general audiences are not following the interviews or anything like that. They don't give a shit. They're just looking at the trailer going, do I want to see it or not? Here's another clip.
The thing you've done is you sort of crystallized very clearly Zeus's law.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about it? I mean, and how you see it? Because it's articulated very clearly in the film.
Well, thank you. Yeah, as I was really going back to the poem and looking at, okay, what fuels all this? What's sort of there behind it? You have this concept of Xenia. We don't refer to it as Xenia in the film because I think that would be confusing. So we just refer to it as Zeus's law. But it's that idea that, you might look like a humble beggar, but you could be a god in disguise. And that becomes the theological underpinning for a society that saw gods everywhere.
What's he fucking trying to say? Zeus's law?
Zeus's law, yeah.
Well, the gods do come down in disguise sometimes. I'm just trying to figure that out, Trey. I'm just trying to fucking figure that out, what he's trying to, what he's trying to say.
Gods walked amongst us back then in everybody's estimation. It becomes a thing.
Well, yeah, in the Odysseys, Athena literally comes down to talk to Odysseus a couple times. There's a part in the story where the god of the wind helps Odysseus. Odysseus sees him on this island. So yeah, it's not like Odysseus is not interacting with any of these gods or goddesses. I don't know what the whole point here is.
Theological underpinning of the golden rule, of the idea that, treat others as you would be treated. And
that wasn't the point of Homer's Odyssey.
No, he's talking about Zeus's law.
I know, but even Zeus wouldn't say that. Zeus is a asshole. Zeus is not all about treat people as you would want to be treated. Zeus bangs mortal women and punishes just for shits and giggles. Treat others as you would want to be treated themselves. He's basically quoting Jesus Christ from the Bible, not Zeus.
He's quoting the golden rule, but he's relating the golden rule to Zeus's law.
Yeah, but if he knew Zeus, he would know that Zeus couldn't give a fuck about the golden rule. You read enough.
He's talking about Zeus Zexios. Xenia. Zeus Zexian Zexi.
Xenia.
How do you say it?
It's spelled with an X. I think Xenia, basically.
Zexian.
This is Zeus's law.
Whatever.
This is Zeus's law. But at the same time, it's like
Zenon. I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, an X in Greek would be pronounced like a Z.
Zeus. He mentions it in this interview. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, he does, like Xenia, basically. Zeus's law. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And he's equating the golden rule
That's
to
what
it.
he's saying. I don't know.
I'm saying he's equating the golden rule to it. I'm saying Zeus.
But it's Zeus's law. It's referring to like the hospitality. And that's
Zeus wouldn't do that. Zeus wouldn't do that.
That's what it's talking about.
I know, but
he's talking about.
Like,
it's called. It's literally called Zeus's law.
But I'm saying, I don't care what the fuck it's called. He's like Zeus wouldn't give a shit about that. Zeus was about power. Zeus kicked his brother Hades out, like gave him the shaft and put him down in the underworld. Zeus was a monumental dickhead. He was not a good guy. He was not a good god. He was not, hey, treat others as you would want to be treated yourselves. He was not all about that golden rule. Okay, I'm just saying, like, this makes absolutely no sense.
It's just called Zeus's law. Like, that's all it's called.
I want to look this up and see what its etymology is, because like I said, knowing what I know of Zeus, this makes absolutely no sense.
The glue that binds society together.
The golden rule, which is from the Christian Bible, but okay.
The more I thought about it, the more that became important to the project, because the more you realize that, back then, leaving the house for more than, a day or two, you're by definition throwing yourself at the mercy of strangers. And society can only function with respect for strangers.
Yeah, they killed them. Either imprisoned them, or they killed them, or they were hospitable. There wasn't like, you're throwing yourself at the mercy of strangers, basically. So what, like, it was like, had the underpinnings of, because I'm a stranger too, I should show respect to strangers. No, not necessarily. I mean, you have Menelaus and his brother slaughtering Trojans because Menelaus' bitch ran off with a Trojan twink. I'm just saying. The lesson of the suitors is that strangers should not be trusted and invited in. Yes. The suitors, the whole entire thing with the suitors, they come in, they take over the household, and they force Penelope to choose who to marry. That whole point is basically, don't bring strangers into your household because they won't leave at this point, and they'll be like, and they will be like little shitheads about it.
The more you look at it, the more we talked about it, the more we started bringing the project together, the more you realize nothing's changed. We're just as dependent on that. Nothing's changed in that regard. And so,
welcome strangers to your home. Welcome the foreigners to your land.
So this is basically advocating open borders, almost.
Well, he doesn't deny it.
It's a point of connection with this text of 3,000 years ago that isn't just a great adventure story, but it's also a kind of ethical and moral foundation that connects us to a very different time.
It's more acute than ever.
I think so.
But you never touched on the ethical and moral foundations that were actually in the story. You basically injected not a modern perspective, but a Christian perspective into a Greek story that was not part of that story to begin with at all. And the foundation of it is, well, I'm saying, he's injecting something that's not exactly there into into the story that's not there. So, he's speaks for over a minute and says nothing. Yeah, the irony just brew. But I said, he's spoken for over a minute and a half, and absolutely nothing was said.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that interviewer.
Yeah.
It's such a piece of shit.
One more clip that I have, and that's if all you all were wondering where Travis Scott's going to come in.
Yay! We're
Yay!
gonna get
All
rap.
you're wondering
We're getting
about that.
rap in the Odyssey.
Yeah. Oh, like yeah, because he recorded a track to play over the end credits.
And what's his name? Nolan helped him write it. I can't wait to hear it.
Oh my god!
I'm so excited.
Travis Scott. If you don't listen to current rap, you don't know who this dickhead is.
A lot of the way people look at the ancient world or the classical world in movies and in culture is to sort of project their own fantasies onto it and to keep it.
No, most people look at the culture as it was, basically. So if it was a Greek culture, it's predominantly white because that was the ethnicity in that region. We did not have sub-Saharan Africans there, or Indians, or fucking Asians, or women who hated their boobs and became men. No.
Just because I looked up Travis Scott's music, Nolan couldn't make it worse. Isn't Travis Scott? Doesn't he use like a lot of what is it called, auto tuning in his music?
I don't listen to his music.
I don't listen to him. I've never listened to the most I've listened to Travis Scott was watching a lot of documentaries on Astroworld and what happened there when those people died, including like a 6-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That is the only time I've ever heard of any Travis Scott music.
The only time I've like seen him was when he ruined WrestleMania.
What? Oh, he was at WrestleMania too?
He was in one of the WrestleManias, yeah.
Isn't it like the music that goes I can't do it. No.
But like he was like part of like the final boss.
Like when they're talking,
when John Cena turned heel or something, and like Travis Scott was kind of part of it for a little bit, and it was like useless. Just like so stupid.
What is it called when like they use something over their voice? So when you talk, it sounds like this.
I guess auto tune.
Isn't it called auto tune? Mm-hmm. I don't know, but doesn't he use a lot of that?
I couldn't tell you. I would not be surprised if he did. Like I said, I don't listen to his music. I think he looks like every black stereotype.
I don't know. I had no idea who he was before.
I just knew he was a rapper. That's it. Like, didn't he
thing?
Didn't he have a kid with Kylie Jenner?
I think he dated Kylie Jenner. I don't know if he had a kid. I have no idea. Why are you asking me that? I know that Kylie Jenner. I know that she was at Astroworld though, and I know that she broke up with him a little bit after that because of that controversy, because of all that.
Yeah,
I know that, but that's only because I watched those documentaries. I had no idea who this guy was.
I didn't go down the rabbit hole, but when that happened, I saw like who he was dating, and I could have sworn that he had a kid with like Kylie. So,
I have no idea. There is such a good documentary though on Astroworld on YouTube. Let me find it. It's so good. I'm gonna give it to you, Mara, so you can watch it.
At a remove.
Exactly. This is them, not me.
For example, when you talk about, academics will talk about how Homer's story was passed down as oral formulaic poetry.
Yeah, it was, because there was no printing press then. Genius.
Yep.
Which is really fascinating. It's like the idea that bards have just, riffed on this and kind of...
Riffed? No, bard... Oh, fucking hell. He actually used riffed unironically. Okay.
Freestyle it and everything. But they'll always talk about Yugoslav folk poets from the 1920s or whatever. They don't look at rap. They don't look at a guy like Travis Scott.
Yeah, because we don't think Homer and think fucking Travis Scott.
No, the fact that he's just like, I'm looking at rap because of the, like, you tell your stories, right? Like the stories are told for generations upon generations. And then he thinks of rap?
No, but this is just, oh my god, this is gonna be a shit show. It'll be a visually stunning, I imagine.
He's really trying to sound profound when that. No, like, sir, have you listened to rap? Excuse me.
That's why I've got Travis
in
the movie, because
oh my god, he actually okay.
Starting the first voice you hear is his telling this story. It was incredible.
When I was thrilled he would come to do it, but he got it immediately. It's like, no, this is how this story's been handed down.
Yes.
And
Are we honestly like, are we going? Someone on Twitter said, is he making Travis Scott Homer? Like, because he's telling this story. I was like, no way.
No, I think I saw somewhere that he's not Homer. He's a bard, even though the term bard would not have been used back then. But he is a storyteller who's telling Homer's story because it was very much the oral tradition. There was no printing press or anything like that. So, and if you wanted it, like, to pass it down in writing, you'd have to copy it by hand each time. So most of the stories were told orally, basically. So you tell it to someone, they'd memorize it, and then they'd tell it to someone else, or a group of people, and they pass it on that way. So he's not supposed to be Homer, but he is a bard. He's a storyteller. So he's basically the narrator, from what I could tell, for the Odyssey.
have that in our culture today.
You have
it's
to
such an
tell me.
important part of the culture. A lot.
I'm getting upset.
Yeah.
I need.
So like,
I'm getting upset. Travis Scott's the first voice that you hear in the Odyssey, dude. Like, let me just wrap our way into the story. I can't wait to hear it. Oh my god! If the Odyssey starts off with a rap, I'm gonna die. I'm not even kidding.
Part of me kind of.
If the Odyssey starts, because he said that that's the first voice that you hear. Mm-hmm. That is the first voice that if the Odyssey starts off with a rap, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. If that's where it is. If that's what happens, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Okay, so yeah, World Vid. So yeah.
It's not funny.
He gets people on the live at his concert. Yeah, totally what I need as the narrator for the Odyssey.
It's not wrong.
So
how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I think it was like 9. Mm-hmm. Was it 9 people that died, including like a 6-year-old boy?
Yeah. Okay, the last X post I have.
No, 10. Maybe it was 10. It was 10.
Was this?
Oh my god! Tell man dem of a complicated dog, bro.
To use the N-word, I would not be surprised. So the last.
Oh my god! Did you see Tom Cruise's latest promo for Digger?
No, I haven't seen the latest promo. I've been kind of off social media because of my classes.
Ah, my head. Hold on, let me see where I can find it.
The last, one of the last, these X posts I have is the fact that you have John Leguizamo cast in the Odyssey, and he plays. Hold on, I gotta look up the cast because I can't remember which character he plays. This is the same guy who bitches about Latino representation and how little there is of it. Is playing.
Oh man, where is
are
it?
you? Eumaeus. Basically, like a loyal servant to Odysseus. Basically, essentially, like while Odysseus is away, he's the one who helps raise Odysseus' son Telemachus. So John Leguizamo is in it. No Greek descent whatsoever. Rails in every one of his interviews about how little Latino representation there is, and how Latino characters should only be those characters should only be played by Latinos, is taking the role away from a Greek person, a Greek actor, or let's just say a non-Latino actor.
Yeah.
So he's fine with doing that, and you point out that he's he's played a little person in Moulin Rouge.
Mm-hmm. And that little person is a real person, by the way. He's playing an actual person. that live. Like that is a real person. He's playing an actual person, but he's playing
Yeah.
a little person.
So, who rails against that? Who's played an LGBTQ plus character, even though he himself is not of that persuasion. Playing a Greek character, 2 Italian characters, and an Asian stereotype.
Yeah. One from the past. The other 2 are from Mario Brothers and Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo doesn't care about anybody except for himself. That's it. And he's kind of figured out a way to get hired for roles. If I bitch and bitch and bitch, I'm going to get hired because directors and people casting movies don't want to seem racist. So they'll hire me. That's basically what he's discovered now. His career was so dry. And then he started complaining. So let me hire John Leguizamo. That's it. He doesn't care about anybody but himself.
No.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
He's
in
an
the
idiot.
Romeo and Juliet movie, didn't he play Tybalt?
He played Tybalt, yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the cousin to Juliet's character, who's
Juliet.
played by Claire Danes.
Yeah.
Totally believable.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, very believable. In Fair Verona. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Fair Verona, where our story takes place. So. But yeah, I'm saying like this
my
is a guy
favorite
who, like,
video. My
yeah.
favorite video of John Leguizamo is he's on some sort of like podcast, or I don't know if he's on a podcast or on a radio show or whatever.
Mhm.
But he's with some people. He's like, "What do you guys think about Latinx? Where do you fall? Where do you fall with Latinx?" Right? And then the guy's just like, "Yeah, I don't really care. I don't really put labels on anything." They completely like shut it down because I think that he was thinking like, "Oh yeah, for sure Latinx." He was thinking they're gonna be so on board with Latinx, and they're just like, "Yeah, we don't care." And you can see him, he's just like deflating in real time. It's like, yeah, John, nobody gives a fuck about that. Okay. Except for you. Like, that's it.
And I think like the black guy, he was one of Romeo's guys.
Yes, he is. He played Mercutio.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he
Yeah.
he was like Mercutio. Like he was like he's like tied to Romeo, not
Yeah, he's
not the Capulet.
Mercutio is Romeo's best friend. I fucking
Yeah.
love Romeo and Juliet. I love Romeo and Juliet.
If you actually read Romeo and Juliet, Mercutio is he's a body character. Like he literally he tells like innuendos.
Mm-hmm.
Like very much so, basically. When I say body, I mean like BAWDY, basically very much sexual innuendos. So he's like the guy who really like he's a friend of Romeo's who does not like give a fuck what he says.
Doesn't care. My mom, here's some of my lore. My mom, when I was little, because my mom was she loves Shakespeare. My mom loves Shakespeare. If Shakespeare had a fangirl, that would be my mom. My mom like loves Shakespeare. She used to read me Romeo and Juliet as a bedtime story.
A tragedy is a bedtime story.
Yeah, she did. Like that's why I love Romeo and
Did
Juliet.
your mom
She
not
used to
love
read-
you?
Yeah.
She's like, this
She
is
used to
why
read it to
you
me.
don't date until you're 21.
She used to read it to me, and then like she showed me the movie, but it was like the old movie.
Which
The
one? There's
older-
like 2 old movies. Is it color or black and white?
It's color.
Okay, so it's the one with I know which one you're talking about, basically, where like the actors are actually like the ages of the characters are close to
Mhm.
it. I know which one you're talking about because there's another one before that, which is black and white, where you look at the actors and actors and you're like, yeah, you're not fucking teenagers.
No, it wasn't that one. It was the color one.
Yeah, it was the color one. Okay, I know which one
Yeah.
you're talking
So
about.
she showed me that movie. And then she showed me the Baz Luhrmann one, the one with Claire Danes.
Mhm.
I loved both of them. They were so good.
Oh, I like
love
both
those
of them.
movies.
I like
I
both
love
of them.
Romeo and Juliet.
Basically the Baz Luhrmann one is a way of doing an adaptation with a modern spin.
Yes, but they kept the language.
Yeah, that's how you do an
Yeah,
adaptation
I love
with a
that.
modern spin.
I freaking love that about it.
Or
I like that the
10
guns
Things I
were
Hate
called
About
swords.
You.
That was
10
really cool.
10 Things I Hate About You is an adaptation of Taming of the Shrew. It's a modern adaptation of Taming of the Shrew.
Of Taming the Shrew.
But it works.
Steph, your mom
is
is
a
mother
modern
of the
adaptation
year.
of
Listen.
Othello.
I honestly like
Oh.
because I was so young, I don't even know.
I've seen it. I used to watch Wishbone. So, have you watched Wishbone?
No.
Oh my God, Steph! Like you're killing me. Wishbone is like Jack Russell Terrier, who's like you can hear his. He does the narration for the show. You can hear his. He talks, but like it's his voice you're hearing basically, and he takes what's happening in real life and compares it to a story. So it's like, oh, this reminds me of Romeo and Juliet, or this reminds me of this story, or this reminds me of this story. You would love that show. I think you would love that show.
Aw. I did watch Dora the Explorer. Shut up.
Yeah.
Romeo Must Die is a modern take on Romeo. I watched Romeo Must Die. I saw that movie.
Yeah. So I'm saying Steph claims to be a woman but doesn't know Wishbone.
I don't know what Wishbone is.
Oh, okay. If I'm not saying I'm going to do it anytime soon, but if I watch a K-drama, all right, you need to watch Wishbone.
Okay.
It's a TV series. It's like half-hour long each episode. Not even, because you take out the commercials. It's a cute show, and like I said, Wishbone is a Jack Russell Terrier who it was a way of like that kids were introduced to stories, basically. Because
I know what you're talking about. I think.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think like he did Pride and Prejudice for one of the comparisons and mysteries and things like that. Purloined Letter.
Wishbone taught us so much history. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Then I have no idea.
Like history, but more like stories, basically. Like introduce kids to stories, like Tale of Two Cities and things like that.
Okay.
So
I get to pick your K-drama though,
okay,
and I know which one I'm gonna choose. I know which one. I'm excited.
Ask this brew, not Steph. Yeah, Wishbone was PBS. Yeah, but like I think there was maybe some ad breaks, but it was PBS when it originally aired. So here it is, Steph. Here's the episode with Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, perfect. I was just looking up Wishbone streaming, and I don't think it's streaming anywhere.
The hell's oh my god!
But there's a YouTube playlist, so
yeah.
I can watch that.
Oh, okay. I cannot type. Like Trey's asking, what the hell is a Wishbone? All right. I'm just gonna share my screen. I'm not gonna bring up the Wikipedia page or anything, but like this. All right. Let me see.
Look at him, he's so cute.
Yeah, that's Wishbone.
Like Robin Hood.
Yeah, he dresses as Robin Hood in one of the stories. Yeah, because this is a dog who wears costumes, basically. So when he's like, when he's quote unquote reenacting the story, he's in little costumes.
Oh my god! If I watch this, I'm gonna end up buying my dog so many costumes.
Yeah. So
I want to buy my doggo that Robin Hood costume. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See, like this. This is.
Oh.
See, this. The Three Musketeers.
Stop it.
Sherlock. Like this is like where they had him like just using the bow and arrow.
God, why don't I know about this show?
I don't know. That's why I'm genuinely surprised that you didn't know about this.
Oh my goodness. You know what? These outfits are for my dog George. Like George is so proper. Harley's all over the place, but George will sit there with these outfits on and he'll know. He'll know that he's like that he's looking dapper.
Yeah. And the song would begin like for like the opening, like, what's the story, Wishbone? What's this you're thinking of? And like it would basically like he like some like like certain events would be happening in real life and he'd be like, this reminds me of this story, basically. Or this
oh my
this reminds me of
goodness.
this story.
I need to watch this
Yeah.
because this looks so cute. I'm watching it as soon as the stream is over. I have it pulled up. Rosie.
So that is Wishbone. Like he was like he wasn't like it wasn't a straight adaptation basically of the books, but he was recounting the stories. Yeah, so he basically go like, this reminds me of A Tale of Two Cities, and he'd be one of the characters from The Tale of Two Cities, basically.
Aww.
Like, yeah, this reminds me of Romeo and Juliet. This reminds me of like Hunchback of Notre Dame sort of thing. And like I said, he'd be in costumes. It's not like the dog was just in the like story. He'd be wearing the costumes from the time period.
So cute.
Yeah.
Just said Steph watches the romance stuff. I watch a more wide range. I know. I do watch the romance stuff because we don't get like romantic comedies or anything anymore, you know, like proper romance movies. They do it right. And they get happily ever after endings. So I like to, when I'm in the mood for a romance, I get put on a K-drama.
Keely's asking, did you watch Reading Rainbow?
Mm-mm.
I watched Reading Rainbow.
No.
With LeVar Burton?
No.
It's basically, you know, it's what got me into reading, basically. Reading, yeah. If you like go back and watch like the openings for like shows like that were like that time period, like 80s, 90s, basically, like they should not have hit as hard as they did. Like DuckTales thing, basically.
I know what it is. I just never watched it.
Like the DuckTales theme and so forth. Like those openings hit hard. Like they really hit. Like, you know, like they actually I don't know what they did. But they actually took the time to, like, you know, for those songs.
Yeah. I know what it is. I just never watched it. I didn't watch the Magic School Bus either.
Hey, Michael, friend. I watched Matt. So I was like, ask her a question. I'd say likely guaranteed what she hasn't watched, I've watched. Like, I've watched Arthur. I've watched Reading Rainbow. I've watched Magic School Bus.
I watched Arthur.
Okay.
I know Arthur.
All right.
Wait.
Darkwing Duck. Did you watch Darkwing Duck?
I know. My brothers watched Darkwing Duck.
Okay. You at least know it. Yeah, at least know it. So, Thundercats.
No, I don't know that. Did you watch Between the Lions? No, I don't know what that is.
I don't remember that. I don't think I watched that, but I watched Gargoyles. Did you watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
I know what it is. I might have watched like reruns.
Mm-hmm. Oh, SWAT Cats. Yeah.
Yes, reruns.
Oh, Animaniacs and Tiny Toons.
Steph, it's hurting our little nerd hearts. I'm sorry. I know Animaniacs and Tiny Toons.
Yeah. I would judge you hard if you did not know at least those two. Animaniacs and Tiny Toons. Hey, Sandro. Oh, yeah, Beast Wars. I primarily watched Beast Wars.
I didn't watch Beast Wars.
And Transformers.
I honestly don't know. I think my brothers probably watched it.
See, I watched, like, this is when Cartoon Network showed, like, all, like, you know, a bunch of cartoons from, like, you know, like, I guess, modern day, for one better way of putting it, to like older cartoons, and that's how this Cartoon Network. But I didn't like it was like certain channels would air older cartoons, and that's how I watched Thundercats, Johnny Quest, Fantastic Four, yeah, things like that. Anyway, all right, so. Jeez, we're like hitting the 2-hour mark, and we like just covered the videos.
Oh, I found the Digger thing. Look.
Okay.
Trailers tomorrow. Oh, here's Tom Cruise.
Digger, October.
I like how you start. Digger, October.
You know what? Like, that piqued my interest enough. Just the fact that he's on a giant fucking shovel.
I know. I know. I was like, why did you get a... Put it on 2 times speed. Okay. Why? Oh, I can't do that on the computer. Can I? No.
Probably not.
I know why he said put it on 2 times speed. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, no, you're not getting my channel nuked. No, you're not.
I'm not going to do that.
So.
Bro, I can't believe that.
Oh
Soul says it gets your attention.
Oh, I love Ed and Eddie. Yeah. I love Ed and
I
Eddie.
know Ed and Eddie.
Yeah. Have you seen like videos of like the voice actors like behind the scenes, like, you know, doing the? It is hilarious, basically, and they're talking about the characters that they voice, like, you know, the main 3 and so forth. It's hilarious. You gotta watch, like, find clips. Johnny, yeah. So basically, we grew up during like I guess I would say, probably the golden era of cartoons and programs, basically. So it's like,
No freaking way. Oh my gosh, look. Is that Alan Ing?
Come on.
This is thanks for spending the day with me and sharing our mutual love of cinematic storytelling on the legendary Warner Brothers lot. He has this picture, and then Chris Gore zoomed in. It's my pal, Alan, in the back. Oh my gosh. My first question is, how tall is Tom Cruise? I must ask, and he must answer. I like how, like, they put him in the front here. People sit down and then get on their knees, and then everybody else is further back to make Tom Cruise look taller.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, even for a man, isn't he on the short side?
Yeah.
So
they use like forced perspective for Tom Cruise to make him look tall.
Yeah. So,
Tom Cruise is Digger.
I think we're hitting about the 2-hour mark, so it's like I'm not going to bother going into the articles. Basically, it's Christopher Nolan saying backlash over casting and more is irrelevant. Basically, so he doesn't give a crap. Basically, he doesn't give a shit. You know what? Because it's irrelevant to him. Basically, the backlash.
Well, fans aren't irrelevant. Actually, they're, your source of.
I know.
That's the audience right there, so it can't really be irrelevant.
We are the audience. He's like,
holy shit! I think my brain just malfunctioned.
I know, it's like your brain malfunction. Like, we are the audience. We are the target audience.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Christopher Nolan says the Odyssey's modern English dialogue was a no-brainer, even if it might bite me on the ass, and I was maybe being naive.
It might bite him in the ass. He also said, didn't he say that like he dealt with it for like a year for Batman? So he's just
like he said, like that's part of like
just comes with the territory.
Where it says, I remember I spent 10 years dealing with Batman, basically. So it's like I've dealt with this before, so it doesn't faze me now. So this is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
So this is a whole different beast because, well, one reason is because you are, pissing off an entire country. So it's like, that's a different beast right there. So, but anyway, so yeah, like I said in Steph's chat when during a stream, it's like, guys, I'm feeling we're gonna be talking mainly about the Odyssey because there's so much to break down since it's going to drop on Friday basically. So
we're going to talk about Moana, but
if you must know, Chad, it only made 43 million opening weekend.
And only 95 worldwide, 95 million worldwide. Yeah. I knew it. I knew that movie wasn't going to do well.
Yeah.
I freaking knew it. Like, you saw the ratio on that trailer. There was no way. And now Disney's looking at their live action Tangled like, holy fuck. I think they jumped the gun too soon by greenlighting all of those live action movies after Stitch did $1 billion.
Yeah. If I were in charge of Disney, this is what I would do. All right. I would cease the fucking live action movies, especially because it's a no-win situation, really. If you stray too far away from the source material, from the actual original work, you piss people off. If you do it a beat for beat, all right, cartoon to live action, you piss people off because
no. Here's the thing, though. Hold on. They were redoing their live action movies. They started with Cinderella. Cinderella was great, right? They're like, oh, okay, it's just going to be like a modernized, a live action version is going to be very similar to the storytelling in the original movie, but just in live action. And Cinderella did it right. And then they
it's the only one that's done it right, basically.
And they started trying to fix the stories. That's what the problem that they did. They tried to fix the story, so they're no longer what you fell in love with. They tried to make these power ballads, these empowering ballads, giving their princesses agency now. And that's not really what we want to see. We want to see these girls fall in love. We want to see the romantic love stories.
Well, that's what basically
love with these stories in the first place, right?
Stray away from the original work, basically.
Yeah.
By
and
doing
so
that.
They started changing them, and we're like, you know what? We don't really like this. And then
I'm saying it's a no-win situation. They do that, you piss people off. if you do it a beat for beat, like scene to scene, like ratio, basically, then you still tick people off because people are like, well, why should I pay for this when I can just watch the original?
I think it would have, honestly, I think Moana probably would have worked had Disney not had this have this terrible track record beforehand. Because even like Lilo and Stitch made $1 billion, but all of the people who love Lilo and Stitch who went and watched that movie were pissed.
Yeah.
Because of how they changed it.
Mm-hmm.
And Lilo and Stitch was such a no-brainer. It was a movie that you can do beat for beat and just have it be live action, but that's not what they did. They completely changed the story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they were just like, Lilo and Stitch was probably like the last straw. They're like, you know what? Fuck you, Disney. Like, you can't even do Lilo and Stitch correctly and do like the Ohana means family, all that stuff. You can't even do that. So I don't even want to see a beat for beat movie of the live action.
This is what I would do if I were running
I'll just
Disney.
go and watch it for free, or not really for free, but I'll just go watch it on Disney Plus or put it in my Blu-ray or whatever and watch it.
Yeah. Well, this is what I would do if I were Disney, basically. I would cease the live action adaptations, just like cease them, basically. And for limited runs, basically, like I say, if you wanted to watch like a Disney classic that you grew up watching when you were a kid, release them in theaters. You don't have to worry about marketing necessarily because these movies are already beloved. So it's not like you have to, convince people to buy tickets to see it or anything like that necessarily. It's you're releasing from the vault a classic Disney cartoon. And you just do it like in a regular theater run. Families are going to take their kids to go see it, all right? Because that there's no meddling involved. It's the original animation and so forth. So they're not going to be worried about is it appropriate for kids or anything like that. And like I said, like they would save on marketing, they would save on production costs, right? Because all they would have to do basically would just be pulled out of the vault, dust it off, basically say, hey, we're releasing it on this date. It's going to run for this period. Boom. You got the Disney adults taking their kids to go see it. That's what I would do if I were running Disney and I wanted to draw people back in with the Disney brand. I would do it that way, not these live actions or anything like that. Yeah, I don't think Song of the South would fly, even though I don't care, basically. But I would do that, basically. Like, release the original The Lion King. Release it for a theatrical run. Release the original, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Aristocats, Rescuers Down Under, The Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, basically. Release the classics that people are going to like.
I'm wondering if, and probably not, I don't think so, because I can't, I would have to look up like the timelines of all these things, but How to Train Your Dragon,
one of my favorites. Right? Mm-hmm, yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon, that movie, that live action was basically like a beat for beat of the movie with just a little bit thrown in to change it. But I always said like How to Train Your Dragon was probably the best case scenario. Like if you're going to do live action movies, here, Cinderella, great. How to Train Your Dragon is another one. If all you want to do is do a live action version of your animated movie, How to Train Your Dragon is basically how you do it. They did change some stuff, yes, and I don't like those changes, but that movie did make a little bit of money. I think it made like $650 worldwide. So I think it either broke even or made money. I don't even know. Mm-hmm. But with a movie like that can translate. And yes, they did it for Epic Universe, but that can translate because like the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, that wasn't as big as like all of these Disney franchises. That's why like doing that one and having it make some money did really well, on top of promoting your theme park and having people go to the theme park as well. So that ended up being a positive for Universal, as opposed to Moana completely just flopping because they've sort of lost their audience through all of these live action remakes. And it's just like, why? I don't want to go see The Rock as Maui. You've made him look absolutely ridiculous. And the movie, by the way, yes, it is a beat for beat of the animated film, and it is so dull. It is so freaking dull. I watched it like right before Mind Disbrew stream. It's so dull. It's so lifeless. It lacks color. And the main girl who plays Moana, like it's just not It's not good. She can't. It's not as good
Emote?
as the animated movie. The animated movie is so good, and when she sings, you can hear her singing, but you can't help but hear the other girl sing, and there's so much more emotion in the way she sings it as opposed to this. It's like I'm singing a cover of the Moana song, so it's so lifeless. It really is. It lacks life. Oh no.
Well, that's the impression I was getting because I watched Jeremy John's review and he pretty much said that like there was no heart.
No,
like, not in the adaptation. Like at that point, like you just watch the original because that actually has emotion and like where you're supposed to be hitting the feels, like you're actually hitting the feels where it's like you're rather versus just going, okay, we're just going to like repeat what was said in the original, but we're just repeating it as if we're reading from a story without any emotion. Like we're just reading the lines. We're not saying the lines, basically. Is what it felt like to him. Well, in so many words, basically, where it's like, you know, it's like at that point, it's like
is
just
very
watch the
lifeless.
original.
He's right. It's missing heart because there are parts in Moana where I remember like I'm tearing up, because of like the heart and the songs and how moving it is. And I remember tearing up like watching Moana. I'll still tear up watching Moana. I'm watching this live action one. I'm just like, there's nothing
Yeah, can we,
there.
like-
It's so dull and lifeless.
Yeah, can we throw the main character in the volcano instead of saving?
And The Rock is terrible. I'm sorry,
know.
but he was awful.
Which is like
No, it's
ironic
so
because
bad.
he voiced Maui in the original, and I'm like, you couldn't bring that emotion or whatever from the original to this. It's just The Rock playing the
That's
Rock.
just him, honestly.
I know.
Like
I'm saying, like, you know, you couldn't manage to do that transition. You voiced the original character, and yet you still couldn't manage to do that transition. You still play yourself.
no, he was bad. He was really bad.
So, but anyway. All right, chat. So it basically ended up, like I said, being a discussion about the Odyssey. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, I really don't care if you watch the Odyssey or not. I'm not telling anybody what they can and cannot watch or anything like that. It's your money. You choose to like spend it however you want to spend it. This is my impression I'm getting from watching these, like the clips of these interviews, reading these articles, and so forth. And that is, it's a bastardization of an epic story purely for, I can say not purely, but like mainly for the sake of a Best Picture nomination, basically. Because like I showed, if you look at like the rules for getting a Best Picture nomination, the Odyssey checks those boxes, so you know it was on Christopher Nolan's mind when he was working on this movie, and the fact that he removed his Oscars because it was weighing on his mind. This is pure Oscar bait.
I don't know.
Nothing about the
Time will
adaptation
tell.
makes
It's
sense.
just 1 week away. The Odyssey is 1 week away. Will it start with a rap? We'll see.
Yeah,
if it does, I'm gonna laugh more. If it does, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you right away and be like, "He's rapping."
Yeah, I believe it. I believe she's going to do it, basically. So, like I said, I have no intention of watching it. I know the story. I have the Iliad and the Odyssey. I can just read it. All right, I can like just read it and just picture it in my head what's going on. Or I would argue, fuck it. Watch the 1997 adaptation. It's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's like great necessarily, but it's entertaining. And it doesn't try to pass it, and it doesn't try to be anything else but an adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey.
I'm gonna watch
the
Wishbone.
1997 miniseries.
I'm gonna watch Wishbone.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Or watch Wishbone. You want to watch Wishbone actually had better adaptations. And it's a dog in a costume.
I
love
can't
Wishbone.
wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's
Yeah.
already pulled up. It's ready to go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, watch the 1997 miniseries or watch Wishbone, just like that. Just do that. Travis Scott's nominations for an Emmy or American Music Award for the Odyssey rap.
Oh my god! Can you imagine if he wins an Oscar for the Odyssey rap?
Oh my god!
You know that's why Christopher Nolan wrote it with him, so he can go and get that Oscar.
Yeah.
for
I
the
would
Odyssey
say,
rap.
"Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" is inspired by the Odyssey. not exactly an adaptation because there are certain changes, but Oh Brother Where Art Thou is a good inspiration. From,
Is that the movie with George Clooney?
What?
Is that the movie with George Clooney?
Yeah. It's like basically like if you watch Oh Brother Where Art Thou, you can see it's very much inspired by the Odyssey.
I've watched that movie. Maybe I have to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm saying like you'd have to know the Odyssey to know like where like the inspiration is in the story. Like John Goodman's character. Is he a sheriff or is he the guy like trailing George Clooney and the other two guys basically? Where the sirens are basically like it's like as you can tell it's inspired by the Odyssey. Another movie that I would say is inspired by the Odyssey is The Warriors.
I've seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou. I never thought of that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, The Warriors is I think very much like not necessarily a modern version of the Odyssey, but you can tell is like a take of like taking from the Odyssey and saying okay like this is what's going to happen. Yeah, he's the Cyclops. Because there's a Cyclops character in the Odyssey.
Oh, maybe I have to rewatch it. It's been a long time since I've watched it.
But anyway, so before I give my outro chat, Steph, let everybody know where they can find you and all that fun stuff when you're not watching Wishbone.
YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
There you go. And Talk Nerdy will be on her channel unless anything changes next week. And as for me, I'm currently taking classes, and my live lectures are Monday and Tuesdays, so I will not be streaming those days. I'm taking medical coding classes, and those very much take up my time and energy studying for that stuff because I'm now in the weeds with the course. But Wednesday, unless anything changes again, because I had to push it back a week because of my co-host schedule, I will be doing the personal top 10 2012 movies list monthly. So we'll be talking about that. Thursday, I'm going to push for a reading stream, get back into reading Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun. I will give a summation of everything that transpired because I had to take a little break from streaming because of my schedule and everything. And then Friday, unless anything changes, I will be able to get back into streaming Lego Batman. I've been doing a lot of side stuff off stream, so basically I'm behind. People who started the story after me finished it before me because I had to take a break and I was just doing a bunch of side stuff. But I'll be back to playing Lego Batman Friday and maybe an afternoon stream Saturday, but that depends on the scheduling. And like I said, Talk Nerdy to Us will be on Steph's channel next Sunday. So tune in for that. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, have a good rest of your day or evening wherever you are in the world. And we will see you all next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, same bat channel for Talk Nerdy to Us. Peace.
Bye.
Look at her blowhole. She has a fucking blowhole.
She's a glory hole in her head.
I can't do anything until the actual police get there.
So, what are you? Even I was like, what are you? So stupid. If you're a bigot, if you don't find this appealing.
Oh man, then I'm a fucking bigot. I'm 100% because this is disgusting.
Right here, proud bigot, right here.
I need to calm down. I think.
Okay, I'm entertaining the chat.
I enjoy King Shark. I found it cute and adorable.
Which are words you shouldn't be associating with King Shark. I'm sorry. I'm like literally messaging.
Oh. It lasted a little bit long. This stream went on a little too long for Mara's internet. I don't care now. Oh my god, what is this? What happened? I've taken over somebody's studio. And you know what? I'm a little upset. I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all.
All right, I'm a little upset, but I'm not upset. I'm
not upset.
You rampant slag.
He listens to metal.
Oh, I really insulted him.
Yeah, you did that.
Fantastic Beast grinds rhymes. Fantastic. Jesus, fuck, I can't talk right now. What do you think they do at the Ministry of Magic?
I'm just saying you're saying it's been a perfect system for 1,000 years.
It hasn't been a perfect system. That's why I'm telling you they have departments in place for anything that were to happen. There's like this place that's like a drive-through daiquiri place. I drove through it.
When she says drove through it, she means the actual drive-through, not the building.
They have like 20-ounce drinks and then 32 ounces. I was like, you know what? Give me the 32 ounce. It is huge.
That's what 32 ounces is. 32 ounces is like 4 glasses.
I didn't realize. Hi, I'm Jason.
Oh my god.
And this is Momoa.
I imagine you did laugh way too hard and too long at this.
Mara is my ride or die. I love Mara.
I absolutely love that intro.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was close. Mara. Oh no! What is happening?
Oh my god, are you okay?
Mara, what channel is the stream on?
Mine!
You rampant slag.